What is happening, Tenkenh crew? The news cycle is absolutely exploding, and if you're not plugged in, you're missing out on the biggest updates shaping our world. We've got a whirlwind of developments that you need to know about, from groundbreaking game enhancements to industry secrets. Get ready, because this is your essential download, your front row seat to what's hot and what's next. Don't blink, you might miss it. Let's dive straight into the action. First up, a game that's been flying under the radar is finally getting the attention it deserves, with a massive overhaul that fans have been clamoring for. This is huge. Then, we're talking about a community concern that's making waves, and how a local utility district is responding to a project that's literally casting a shadow. You won't believe the scale of this. Next, we're digging into the gaming world again, uncovering how a highly anticipated title is getting a significant, fan-requested feature. But the way it was revealed is, well, you'll have to see. And finally, we shine a light on the unsung heroes of game development, the massive studios working behind the scenes on your favorite titles, revealing how they're stepping into the spotlight with a major project. Stay locked in, because this is the Tenkenh rundown you cannot afford to miss. Hit that like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss a single update. Starfield space travel is getting a major upgrade. For a game that promised the vastness of space, Starfield's initial launch felt surprisingly constrained by its menu-driven approach to interstellar travel. While not every space exploration game needs the seamless, no-load screen journeys of titles like No Man's Sky, Starfield's reliance on multiple menus and loading screens to simply move between planets or systems often broke the immersion and pacing. Visiting a distant world, a core fantasy for any space RPG, became a tedious affair of clicks and waits, diminishing the grand scale the game aimed for. However, it appears Bethesda Game Studios has been actively listening to player feedback and is working to rectify this significant drawback. Recent developments suggest a substantial overhaul of the space traversal system is underway. This comes after players discovered evidence in the game's backend pointing to a new feature, unofficially dubbed Cruise Mode. This mode is expected to allow players to fly directly from one planet to another within a system, without the need to exit to a menu. A change that could dramatically improve the flow of exploration and make traversing the galaxy feel far more dynamic and rewarding. Early analysis of the discovered code indicates that while this new system won't allow for intersystem travel without loading screens, nor direct planet-to-orbit liftoffs like some other space sims, it represents a crucial step towards a more immersive experience. The timing of this news is particularly significant. Starfield has gone a considerable period without major updates, and its absence from recent major gaming showcases had led to speculation about Bethesda's commitment to its post-launch support. With the studio reportedly focusing on upcoming titles like The Elder Scrolls VI and the next Fallout game, fans worried that Starfield might be sidelined. The confirmation of new features, particularly those addressing core gameplay complaints, offers a much-needed reassurance to the player base that the game is still a priority. While this isn't the previously announced Shattered Space DLC, these gameplay improvements are vital for retaining player interest and fulfilling the game's initial promise. Developer Tim Lamb, in a recent video on Bethesda's YouTube channel, alluded to these upcoming changes, stating, "Part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make the travels there more rewarding." He also mentioned new gameplay systems and smaller delights in the works, further validating the player discoveries. The fact that Bethesda quietly patched the game to hide the discovered code after players found it only serves to confirm that these features are indeed real and actively being developed. This proactive approach to enhancing the core experience, even if revealed subtly, signals a commitment to refining Starfield into the expansive RPG it was envisioned to be. As Bethesda plans to release story expansions annually, these gameplay enhancements are crucial for maintaining player engagement between major content drops. The community is buzzing with the prospect of a more fluid and immersive space travel experience, a long-awaited feature that could reignite enthusiasm for Starfield's vast universe. But that's not all the news making waves. Stick around, because next we're diving into a local issue that's got a whole community talking about what's happening above. Community concerns spark response over water tower log. The Millcrofton Utility District has recently addressed significant community concerns regarding a massive logo that was planned to be projected onto a newly constructed water tower. This situation highlights a growing trend where local infrastructure projects can unexpectedly become focal points for public debate and engagement, especially when aesthetic or symbolic elements are involved. Details surrounding the initial proposal for the logo projection are still emerging, but it's clear that the scale and visibility of such a projection sparked immediate reactions from residents. Water towers, often prominent landmarks in their communities, can become canvases for civic pride, or, as in this case, points of contention. The exact nature of the logo and the reasoning behind its intended projection have not been fully disclosed, but the utility district's acknowledgement of the community's input suggests a significant level of public feedback was received. This incident underscores the importance of transparent communication and community consultation in public works projects. While the utility district has stated it has heard and recently responded to the concerns, the specifics of that response and how it will alter the original plans remain to be seen. It is common for such projects to involve a period of public review, and it appears the Millcrofton Utility District is navigating this process by engaging with its constituents. The effectiveness of this response will likely be measured by the community's acceptance of the final outcome. This situation also brings to light the broader discussion about the role of public art and branding on essential infrastructure. While some may see the logo projection as a way to enhance community identity or celebrate local achievements, others may view it as an unnecessary or even intrusive addition to the landscape. The debate often revolves around balancing aesthetic considerations with the primary function of the infrastructure. The fact that the utility district has responded suggests they are taking these considerations seriously, perhaps indicating a willingness to amend or reconsider the initial plans. The response from the Millcrofton Utility District is a positive step towards community collaboration. It acknowledges that public perception and input are valuable components of civic projects. As the situation develops, the community will be watching closely to see how their concerns are integrated into the final decision-making process, potentially setting a precedent for future projects in the area. But that's not all the news making waves. Stick around, because next we're diving into the gaming world, where a highly anticipated title is getting a major update, but the way it was revealed is definitely interesting. Starfield's quiet feature reveal sparks fan hopes. Starfield, once the most anticipated game on Steam, has seen its initial hype wane since the lukewarm reception of its Shattered Space expansion nearly a year ago. Bethesda has been notably quiet about the game's future roadmap, leaving many players wondering about the long-term support for the ambitious title, especially with other major projects like the well-received Oblivion remaster in development. This silence has fueled speculation and concern among the game's dedicated player base, many of whom inhabit its online communities, gradually losing hope for significant future content. However, a recent, understated comment from a Bethesda developer has reignited optimism. In a 6-minute interview on Bethesda's own YouTube channel, developer Tim Lamb briefly touched upon the future of Starfield, confirming that new content and requested features are indeed in the pipeline. "I'm really excited for players to see what the team's been working on," Lamb stated, adding, "We have some cool stuff coming, including free updates and features that players have been asking for, as well as a new DLC story." While Lamb offered few concrete details, he specifically mentioned that part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make the travels there more rewarding. He also hinted at new gameplay systems and other smaller delights. This vague but positive outlook aligns with recent discoveries by data miners who found evidence of a cruise mode within the game's files. This potential feature, described by data miners as allowing players to travel between planets within a system without loading screens, mirrors systems found in games like Elite. Dangerous, though without the ability to travel between star systems or directly from planet surface to orbit without loading. The community's reaction to this subtle reveal has been a mix of excitement and mild frustration. While the confirmation of new features, especially those addressing long-standing player complaints about Starfield's segmented exploration, is welcome, the manner of its announcement has drawn criticism. Tucked away in a developer interview video that didn't even mention Starfield in its title, the news lacked the fanfare typically associated with major game updates. Many observers feel this low-key approach doesn't reflect the game's potential or the developer's stated commitment to its ongoing support. Despite the low-key delivery, the prospect of improved space gameplay is a significant draw for players. If the data-mined cruise mode proves to be what players expect, it could dramatically enhance the sense of immersion and exploration that was somewhat hampered by the original design. The fact that Bethesda subsequently patched the game to obscure the discovered code further suggests these features are genuine and actively being developed. This news, though delivered indirectly, provides a much-needed morale boost for Starfield players, signaling that their feedback is being heard and acted upon, even if the grand unveiling is yet to come. But that's not all the news making waves. Stick around, because next we're shining a spotlight on the studios that power our favorite games, revealing the massive team behind a recent hit. The unsung heroes, Virtuos powers major game releases. In the vast landscape of video game development, many crucial contributors operate largely outside the public eye. Virtuos, one of the world's largest independent video game companies, employing approximately 4,000 staff across over 20 global studios, is a prime example of such an entity. While their work is integral to numerous high-profile titles, the average gamer might not even recognize the company's name. However, this is beginning to change as Virtuos' profile rises with each significant project they support. Virtuos has been instrumental in the development and enhancement of many recent hits, including Cyberpunk 2077, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Snake Eater, and most notably, The Elder Scrolls IV, Oblivion Remastered. Bethesda's decision to highlight Virtuos' heavy involvement in the Oblivion Remastered announcement was a significant step in increasing the studio's visibility. Similarly, CD Projekt Red frequently features Virtuos development team members in their live streams, further cementing their presence in the industry discourse. Looking ahead, Virtuos is also contributing to highly anticipated titles such as Ken Levine's BioShock follow-up, Judas, and Riot Games' League of Legends fighting game, 2, XKO. Despite its success, Virtuos recently underwent a period of restructuring, laying off approximately 7% of its global workforce, around 270 employees. The company stated this was a move to evolve to meet the changing needs of its partners and the broader industry, with the majority of affected staff located in Asia. This highlights the dynamic and sometimes challenging nature of the game development support sector. In a candid interview, Virtuos CEO Gilles Langaria discussed the studio's history and its pivotal role in projects like Oblivion Remastered. "We managed to convince Todd Howard and his team that we could do it," Langaria explained, detailing the rigorous process of proving their capabilities through a pilot phase and aligning with Bethesda's quality standards. Virtuos utilized Unreal Engine 5 for the remaster, delivering 4K resolution at 60 frames per second, alongside significant improvements to leveling systems, character creation, combat animations, and menus. The inclusion of new dialogue and a third-person view led many fans to consider it closer to a remake. Langaria elaborated on the technical challenges and solutions, particularly the strategy of engine pairing, combining the original engine for core gameplay with a new engine for modern graphics and features. This approach allowed them to retain the beloved, old charm of Oblivion while updating its presentation. At its peak, around 400 Virtuos artists collaborated on Oblivion Remastered, a testament to the scale of AAA development support. The game's success, with over 9 million players, and the positive reception from fans, have validated Virtuos' contribution. While Virtuos remains focused on its role as a development partner, Langaria hinted at future projects, suggesting more similar titles to Oblivion Remastered are on the horizon. He emphasized the company's ambition and stability, stating, "Not everyone aspires to be the rock star." Virtuose finds its strength and purpose in supporting major industry players, ensuring that even the most ambitious projects reach their full potential. And that's a wrap on today's essential updates. But before you go, let's quickly recap the biggest stories we covered. And that's a wrap on today's essential updates. We covered Starfield's exciting new space gameplay features, the community response to a water tower logo project, the subtle but significant Starfield updates, and the massive studios powering our favorite games. Don't miss out on any future developments. Hit that like button, subscribe to Tenkenh for more, ring the notification bell, drop a comment with your thoughts, and follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you in the next one.